WNTW.
Well, it is an understatement to say that the name Whitmore is synonymous with basketball at Colby College. Dick Whitmore was the Mules head coach for the men for 40 years, retiring in 2011. He will always be connected to that school. But that connection grows a little deeper next year when his granddaughter, Caroline Hartley of Scarborough, will play hoops at Colby. If you believe in destiny, Caroline Hartley might be your evidence. The Scarborough senior standout will play at Colby, where the court is named after her grandfather, Dick Whitmore.
I mean, I've played basketball ever since I can remember. I mean, there's pictures of me, which is kind of funny how it works out now, where I was in a Colby cheerleader uniform at my grandfather's games when he used to coach up there. So I think it's funny how that turned out now.
After leading Double-A in scoring as a junior, Hartley became a bigger target in recruiting, and Colby eventually emerged on her radar.
I went down to a camp at Wheaton, and I had a good time there, and it was one of the elite camps that they hosted. And we were driving on the way back with my mom and my grandfather, and my mom turns around and she goes, "Do you think you'd be interested in going to the Colby one?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure, why not?"
Hartley's one of 5 basketball-playing granddaughters of Dick Whitmore, 3 of them college basketball players. But it's Caroline headed to Colby.
I mean, it was bound to be one of us. Happy that it's me.
In retirement, Dick has been an assistant at Scarborough for all of Caroline's career. He was also previously an assistant for Katie and Maggie Whitmore at South Portland. The fiery determination he brought to the sidelines at Colby is still part of his coaching makeup.
I was not an easy going coach. Coach Maggie and Katie Hart, and I coached Caroline Hart, and that's the way I am, and they have an understanding of that.
But when it comes to his grandchildren's accomplishments, he says he's a blessed man.
To be able to go up there and watch her walk on the court, that's got a nice name to it. That I think that part was a thrill.
No, I just don't think there's any better way for me to go out in my basketball career than playing on a court that means so much to me and my family. So I think it's just really special for me and my family to be able to share that. And it's just Colby. Everybody loves Colby.
There you go.
That's it. Hartley's Red Storm are a handful of teams that have a legit chance to win the South Regional Championship. In the North, Cheverus is the frontrunner. Sanford's Julissa McBaron has the ability to impact a game without scoring. The Spartans come in with momentum after ending South Portland's 13-game win streak to end the year. Scarborough bounced back from a 3-game losing streak to win its last 5. Caroline Hartley leads a team that has the ability to catch fire from the outside. South Portland doesn't have a senior on the roster, but grew up fast, putting together a 13-game win streak. The Red Riots have the ingredients to make a deep run and beat top seed Gorham twice. Gorham is loaded with playoff experience. Ellie Gay gives the Rams a go-to scorer, and the team's versatility means they can win in multiple ways. In the North, defending champ Oxford Hills is bolstered by the return of Tristan Derenberger, and Ella Pelletier gives the Vikings a player who can take over. Cheverus ran the table, and only one of their wins was by single digits. Maddie Fitzpatrick is the straw that stirs the drink, but she doesn't have to score for the Stags to win. Oh, Michael, we'll kind of break this into North and South, and the North has had its way in the last couple of years between Cheverus and Oxford Hills, but the South this year looks like a real pick'em.
I mean, you've got 5 legitimate championship contenders in this region, and I don't think anyone expected TA to be in the number 5 spot, but they're still really dangerous. You've got 2 of the best players in the state, and if they can get their point guard, they're not going to be an easy out, but they've got to go through Sanford just to even get to the Civic Center. I mean, who would have thought that going in? Gorham, Lom Berthium does such a great job with that program. They're the 2-time defending regional champs. They started 2-2 and then really came on. South Portland's been an amazing story this year. They started 1-3. They turn around, they win 13 games in a row. There's not a single senior on that roster. Emma Travis is a junior veteran, and Annie Whitmore, another of Coach Whitmore's granddaughters, really as a freshman has stepped up big for South Portland. And then Scarborough, they closed on a 5-game win streak. It seems like they're always in the semis, the regional final since Coach Giordano's been there. We know how good Caroline Hartley is. Emmy Flaker, of course, a great athlete too. Give you a secret weapon possibly for the Red Storm. Helena Bukarak, a big-time 3-point shooter. She's had some big-time games this year. So, I mean, you really could make a case for any of those 5 teams to come out, and I think it's going to be a fascinating regional tournament.
And a lot of star power as well in that region. And, Gorham, they made it to a championship game last year. A lot of those kids have experience of playing in big games. Right. They're the #1 seed, but we talk about matchups, and South Portland, a team that battled them pretty well, won both games during the regular season against Gorham. So you're like, what's going to happen if you get to that point? Now in the North, Cheverus really is the clear front runner.
Yeah, I'd say without question they're the team to beat. And but there is one other team that we can't write off, and I know Cheverus is not writing Oxford Hills. Another team that completely turned their season around, got healthy, and they gave Cheverus a very close game the second time the teams met this year in Portland. But the Stags, first time they've ever gone undefeated. They still have a game to make up Monday, but it looks like they're going to go undefeated for the very first time. And
a lot of great parts around Maddie as well.
And there really are. I mean, Ruth Bowles has had a terrific year. She doesn't get enough credit for what she's done. Megan Dearborn hits big shots. Anna Goodman hits big shots. They bring in a ton of kids off the bench who contribute, and that's going to really make them tough to beat. We know how good Maddie Fitzpatrick is, but if we get another Cheverus Oxford Hills regional final, sign me up. That would be fantastic theater.
We'll see if Lewiston's Natalie Bowden can make a run with her team. They face their rivals Edward Little to even get into the semifinals. All right, thank you, Michael. Now, the Maine Association of Basketball Coaches and Ronald McDonald House Charities annually present All-Star Weekend for Maine high school basketball. One of the highlights, the Mr. and Miss Basketball Awards. The coaches have done their voting and whittled down their list to 10 semifinalists for Miss Basketball. Here they are. The Miss Basketball semifinalists: Caroline Hartley, Scarborough; Maisie Peach, Dexter; Ellie Gay, Gorham; Izzy Allen, Central; Hayden Medore, Halldale; Natalie Bowden, Lewiston; Jaden Pingree, Spruce Mountain; Emma Lezon, Thornton Academy; Addison Sulikowski, Thornton Academy; and Maddie Fitzpatrick of Cheverus. Pretty good list right there, Michael. All right, our top performances from the boys this year. Aston LeClaire put up 35 at Falmouth. On an opening night win, Carter Galley 51 for Oceanside. Deering avenged an opening night loss to Thornton with Evan Lagasse going for 32 in that win. Noble's Jameer Rose filling it up against Sanford. He had 45, although it wasn't enough. Our top boys performances of the year. We'll be back to talk more boys hoops and unveil the Mr. Basketball semifinalists in just a moment.